wasn't very inspirational. And I, being part of this team, I need some inspiration too. And I'm very disappointed that Christy did not use her favorite word so much this evening. So I would like you to answer back with Christy's favorite word. How are you all tonight?
Awesome!
Now we're getting there. Just put a "we are" in front of it. How are you all tonight?
We are awesome!
And don't forget it because you are. All right? And since I have a spare in case there was a technical malfunction, I guess you could stare at that while I continue. Hi. I am John Kassam, a 5-year survivor of Hodgkin's lymphoma blood cancer. If I survive tomorrow's half marathon event, I will be 56 years old in July. As Christy said, I am joined here by our 2 beautiful daughters, Ashley, who's 25, Courtney, who will be 23 in October. They will both be competing with me as part of team and training. We are joined by my wonderful wife, Debbie, who is here to cheer us on and make sure the kids bring Dad home. I am just John Average. I could be your brother, your cousin, your neighbor, the guy in front of you in the express line at the grocery store. You know, the guy who can't count to 10. Wait a second, that's the guy who's always in front of me. I'm lucky to be here because of people like you who wanted to make a difference. My journey with blood cancer begins on December 7th, 2006. It's funny how I remember certain dates. Anyway, that's when, after months of tests, which included 1, go home and celebrate, it's not cancer, and 1, we bad, it is cancer, I was officially informed that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I quickly responded to the doctor, well, that's great news. And I left him speechless. You see, it was great news, because I had just spent the last 2 days gathering information on blood cancer from the internet. I had decided that if I could pick one of these blood cancers, I would pick lymphoma. And the lymphoma Thomas Hodgkin found was looking pretty good. And although the life of a blood cancer patient is not one I had any interest in being part of, if I was going to be part of this world and lifestyle, I had wished it was with Hodgkin's disease. It's funny to say that, but this is the truth. I actually did. You see, during my fact-finding mission, I'd learned about the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And over the years, the funds raised for research, clinical trials, had nearly tripled the survival rates of Hodgkin patients. In 2006, my chances of survival were a very optimistic 80%. And I was told by the doctors that this type of blood cancer is possibly even curable. Looking back, I should have responded, that's awesome news. After diagnosis and a few more tests, we started putting together a team, which included family and friends for support, the doctors and nurses at Sloan Kettering in Westchester who had the know-how and the tools, and the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, who quickly assigned me a patient service manager and sent more information than could fit in our mailbox. A team with a common goal to help me endure, achieve, and survive. The plan included 12 chemotherapy treatments, 1 month off for good behavior, and then 17 radiation treatments. A plan that had awesome results. Soon after the diagnosis, my patient service manager, Rachel Hunt, sent me up with a First Connection volunteer. What else could I possibly say? This program is awesome. When you're newly diagnosed, LLS arranges a best match survivor of your blood cancer type to call you. I cannot describe the feeling to hear a voice on the other end of the phone say, hi, I am a 6-year survivor of Hodgkin's lymphoma. My First Connection knew the fears, anxieties, and understood the questions I had. She was able to give me some hints for surviving the side effects during my 12 chemotherapy treatments. all because she had traveled the same journey. I am proud to be a First Connection volunteer for 4 years now. My other patient service manager, yes, I have two, it's a zip code thing. Denise Brantoulis from Westchester suggested that I should check out the Brewster, New York Blood Cancer Support Group. By far, not my first choice of clubs to join when I was 50. But our monthly meetings have been informational, supportive, at times comical, and at times very emotional and sad. This was the case at our last meeting when we discussed the recent and unexpected passing of one of our members, Tracy Ridgway. She was 38 years old when she died from complications while fighting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. If you do not have someone special to honor or remember tonight, I invite you to see me after. I will tell you more about Tracy, and I will give you a ribbon to carry in her memory. All right, Christy already took part of this away. I was going to ask how many newbies there were, like me, first years, and how many have come back. But all of you, think careful now. There's a key word here. Before you answer this question, how would all of you describe the team and training experience? Very good. Now you're getting a hint. You might see it pop up still. I've known about TNT for a while now. Although my high school sport was marching band, so I figured TNT was not. Now that I've experienced the team and training program, I better understand the whole concept and how it parallels cancer patients, their treatments, their goals, and why it fits so well with LLS fundraising. Have I mentioned that if it wasn't for the funds raised for research and clinical trials, odds are I would not be standing here tonight. Do you know what TEAM in team and training stands for? T is for train, not the choo-choo train, although I do huff and puff a lot while I'm walking and trying to get through the training practices. Over the past few months, we have trained to prepare us for tomorrow's marathon or half marathon. A blood cancer patient does not get a whole lot of time to train for the fight of their life. But LLS gave me support and did the research years before I was diagnosed in preparation for me to survive. E is for endure. We have endured months of hard work, training, and fundraising. A blood cancer patient endures the mental and physical challenges of tests, treatments, and the side effects. The enduring continues as a survivor. I can tell you, the scans are like a ball and chain you can't get away from. A is for achieve. Each day is an achievement for a blood cancer patient. Each scan, each treatment, one achievement at a time. One day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time. And tomorrow, after all the training and enduring, we will achieve and cross that finish line. But remember this, and this is important. You have already achieved something much more important by raising money for research, so that every blood cancer patient has the same odds of survival that I have. You know, we, the team and training group, will have an advantage tomorrow. We have a very special visualization tool, and with a little team imagination, we will endure and we will achieve. Let me explain. Just before my first chemo treatment, I was told that a lot of cancer patients imagine the cancer disappearing during their treatments. So during chemo, and just before going to sleep each night, I would dream away that little Pac-Man were zigzagging through my body, eating the hard cancer cells, while being very careful not to ingest any good cells. All right, I'll admit it, they weren't perfect and they got a few brain cells, but I'm not complaining. Anyway, during radiation treatments, I would dream of cartoon characters shooting the leftover cancer cells with a ray gun. Started with Woody Woodpecker, progressing to Elmer Fudd shooting at Bugs Bunny, and ended with Mr. Magoo blinking away while shooting the remaining cancer cells. Scary what my mind dreams up, isn't it? And I believe I can help your mind do the same. And now you're scared. So tomorrow, when you get to that long hill and you feel the pain and struggle to keep pace, think of the pain and struggles of blood cancer patients. When you see that obstacle in front of you, think of the obstacles that a blood cancer patient has in front of them every day. Then remember that in a day or two, we will be back to our regular lives. Maybe a little sore, but most of us will not be sitting in a doctor's office hearing, "I'm sorry, you have blood cancer." Most of us will not be at a cancer center getting our next treatment. Most of us will not be waiting to hear if our stem cell transplant was successful. Most of us will not be telling our family, our friends, or even our child that you or they have blood cancer. Most of us, when looking in the mirror, will not see cancer staring back. Or like me as a survivor, wondering if today is the day it returns. Remember that the struggle and fight against blood cancer continues. And although running, walking, or crawling up this next hill may not be easy, we can and we will do it. If you keep these thoughts in image and imagine the mountains a blood cancer patient must climb one day at a time, any hill we see in front of us tomorrow will seem like, well, it'll seem like just a very small bump in the road. Now, the amateur here is going to do some last-minute group training with you. So what I would like you to do is just close your eyes for a few seconds here, and I'll read something to you. All right? And you can do this if you're competing tonight, tomorrow, or not. It'll work. When you get close to that finish line tomorrow, and you see the crowd of people waiting and cheering, imagine the largest crowd you can, the size that gathers at the Super Bowl, or even larger. Then zoom in on that one special person that you were doing this for, and notice his family and friends surrounding him or her. Now slowly zoom back out, and notice that everyone is jumping and cheering you on. Keep these images and thoughts when you reopen your eyes. You can open your eyes. You will see, you should not have to look too hard or too far. You will see and feel the hundreds of thousands of blood cancer patients, survivors, and families, now joined by your donors and supporters, all cheering you across that finish line. I know this is what I am going to see. They are cheering to say thank you. Thank you for making a difference. For what you have done matters. Yes, M is for matter. If I leave you with just one thought tonight, let it be this. What you have done matters. You have made a difference. It matters big time. I am living proof of that. And when people at work or family and friends ask, how was your weekend? I hope you were able to reply back. I was part of something awesome. Then close your eyes and listen. It's that giant crowd yelling back. We are awesome. Yes, you are. Without the efforts of the people who are LLS and TNT, which now includes all of you, tomorrow, our daughters Ashley and Courtney would most likely be competing alone and only holding on to memories and a picture of me. Instead, Ashley, Courtney, and I will be competing and making memories when we cross that finish line together. Thank you for making it possible for more blood cancer patients like me to make more memories instead of being remembered. From the bottom of my heart, thanks for being awesome.